Similar thing happened this weekend, right? Did you watch was it Derek Brunson fought?
Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Well, similar in a way, but more calculated. Derek Brunson just got crazy. And he fought Robert Whittaker, who won Ultimate Fighter Australia, the Smashes edition. Was it Australia versus England? Is that what it was? No. I forget what it was. Who was competing on? Anyway, Whittaker won. And Whittaker, since moving up to 185, he's so much better than he was at 170. And Derek Brunson just came after him. Derek Brunson's the same guy who he had just knocked out Uriah Hall. He caught him with a beautiful left hook and hurt him. And it was just a crazy fight. And then he came back from that, sort of employed the same strategy against Whittaker, but Whittaker kept it together. He ate a lot of shots, kept moving, kept his hands up, kept his composure, and then finally found an opening. And boom! Dropped one on Brunson, and then had Brunson crazy hurt, and then moved in on him. So it was an awesome... It was an awesome exhibition for Whittaker to show that Whittaker can overcome the storm of like a super confident, really dangerous guy who hits fucking hard, who's had a lot of confidence because of his most recent success doing that. I mean, Brunson came after him. Really, really came after him. Super aggressive. Maybe too aggressive for sure. Now, in hindsight, you could say that. But a lot of people, other than Whittaker, probably would have wilted to that storm. Yeah. So it's interesting. It was a really stern test for Whittaker, and it showed you how strong he is.
Yeah, it was one of the beautiful aspects of watching this chess play out with the whole body being utilized. You know,
you're never going to beat it for its excitement level.
No,
you have to realize while you're watching it that, like life, nobody gets out for free.
Yeah,
like life. I mean, it's almost a microcosm of life. It's crazy struggle, and it doesn't always end your way. There's what competition is in mixed martial arts. Is the most extreme version of problem solving we have outside of war. Mm-hmm. It's the most extreme with dire physical consequences. You get brained, like we saw Pat Barry get KO'd there. I mean, that's the consequences of this game. But the reality or the take is nobody gets out anyway alive.
Yeah.
Like you can, if you choose to experience this extremely high level for very short bursts, understand how much resources you're burning off, understand what you're doing, and proceed wisely.
When I talk to fighters who sometimes question, like, man, what am I doing to myself? I'm just beating people up, and that's what I do. To remind them that what really is happening is two people are coming to an agreement to provide a form of resistance for each other. Like at the highest level of what this is, like you're going to come face to face with someone who's also training and also striving to do everything that you're trying to do, which is what's going to push you up against that form of resistance and give you an opportunity not only to overcome physically, but overcome emotionally, spiritually, psychically, everything. You'll have to bring everything to bear against that form of resistance, whether it's the weight cut or the opponent or the training or everything. And there's something to be said for that. Obviously, the only issue for a lot of people is that you end up paying that price not only then but later if you get the brain damage, and that's the only bummer of it and something that to be considered. But if it wasn't for that, man, what a fucking beautiful way to do it. Like to get everything all together, unified in one, and provide that ultimate form of resistance, is like unbeatable.
It's definitely the most difficult physical challenge that we know of because you're competing, especially at the highest level, you're competing with someone who's the same size as you, has a commensurate level of expertise as you, and is as motivated as you are to win. And you're in this crazy competition together where you're literally playing a game of press the button. Mm-hmm. Who can shut off whose central nervous system quicker? Mm-hmm. What? Fucking crazy game. You're never gonna duplicate the excitement of that with any other sport. You come close. Like I guess football is probably pretty close for people. Boxing's probably right up there in moments. Like when Juan Manuel Marquez knocked out Pacquiao. He hit him with that beautiful, clean, straight punch and just flattened Pacquiao. That was about as dramatic a moment as you get in any sort of combat sport.
Sure.
You see a superhero like Pacquiao get leveled with one shot. Like, whoa. But that whoa is just so much more prevalent in mixed martial arts.
Yeah.
That whoa happens so much more often. It's a totally different thing.
And I think the more rules that you put in front of that kind of primal conflict, a little bit more it kind of separates it and makes it a sport. You know,
Yep.
like when you see boxers kind of grabbing each other and doing nothing about it, you know, that's when that moment of like, oh yeah, this is a sport.
Right.
Whereas in MMA, there's fewer of those moments where you go like, oh yeah, this is a sport. It really just feels like people fighting to the death.
Yeah.
You know?
The only moments where you go, it's a sport, it's like you can't grab the fence, or you can't punch the balls, or, oh, you poked the eye, timeout. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's moments in boxing where you go, well, this is kind of silly. You know, how come you can just hang on like this? How come that guy can't trip you and take you down? How come he can't kick your legs?
Right.
You know? It's really hard for me to watch boxing sometimes and not think about kicking someone's legs. Like, or someone kicking someone's legs, rather. Not that I'm running around, man, I want to kick people. I mean, I see the way they're standing, and I'm like, yeah, well,
Look
this
at
is
those little thighs.
yeah, I'm like, this is effective as long as someone's not kicking your legs.
Yeah.
You know, but if you're fighting the same fight, but you're fighting someone like Joe Schilling, he's gonna be fucking kicking the shit out of your legs.
Yeah.
You know, it's a totally different experience, and he's a long dude, so he's gonna be standing way on the outside, and if you don't know how to deal with that, you're only gonna be able to absorb a few of those before you're useless.